Okay, let's unpack this. For this deep dive, we're looking at an organization that isn't just about playing golf. It's about fundamentally changing the game itself,
Exactly. We're talking about the Future Golfers of America, or FGA.
and specifically their huge upcoming charity event, the Underdog Open,
And that name, the Underdog Open, really tells you everything, doesn't it? Our sources lay out this powerful why behind the nonprofit.
which is this idea that talent just gets left on the sidelines because of systemic barriers.
Right. So our mission today is to, drill into that story and then give you all the details on the event that actually funds the fight.
Because when you really look at junior golf,
It's-
it's an unequal playing field from the start. It's seen as a sport of privilege.
It is, almost by definition. The cost to get in, to be truly competitive, is just astronomical. You're talking about coaching, equipment, travel,
Club fees, range balls, all of it.
everything. So what FGA is addressing is this massive gap between a kid's raw, natural talent and the resources they need to do anything with it.
Without that financial backing, the dream just dies.
It just expires. And to really get why FGA exists, you have to start with the founder, Bart. His story isn't just the inspiration, it's the blueprint.
It's a very real, very personal story.
It is. He spent his early years on the south side of San Antonio in a really tight-knit Mexican-American community, but he started to, drift a little.
Getting into the kind of trouble that can really derail a young life.
Yeah. So his father, who was in the military, made a pretty radical choice. He took a new job that moved the family from San Antonio all the way to a small farming town in Oregon.
Wow, that is a complete life disruption.
Totally. And it was intentional. It was meant to give Bart a clean slate, a chance to reset.
Yeah, that's where he finds golf.
That's where he finds golf. He was 13, and it wasn't a family thing. It was just something new. When his high school started a team, he and his best friend, Ian, joined up.
And they were good. Like, immediately good.
Phenomenal. And what's so fascinating, what really anchors this whole underdog idea, is the incredible disadvantage they were playing under.
Right, while still beating kids from these well-funded suburban schools.
Beating them with clubs they literally scavenged. Our sources say their first real set was pieced together from Goodwill.
So no fancy gear, no rangefinders, no training aids.
Nothing. No real practice facility. Their entire golf education was just pure, unadulterated grit.
Tell us about their home course, because this detail is it's almost mythical.
It was a 9-hole sand greens layout.
Sand greens, like actual sand.
Actual sand. 100-year-old course. It was community-run honor system, and it cost $5 to play.
So after every putt, they had to, smooth the surface themselves?
You rake and a roller, manually.
So, yeah.
That creates a connection to the course, a feel for the terrain that most kids today will never experience.
It seems like that hardship was actually a hidden advantage.
It was their private academy. It taught them creativity, feel, discipline, because nothing was easy, nothing rolled true.
And I read this detail that on days they didn't have the $5.
They'd leave IOUs, just little notes, and the old man who took care of the place, he'd just see them and wave them on to the first tee.
That's amazing.
Eh?
But that kind of community support, it can only take you so far, right?
Exactly. Once they got to that top high school level, the bigger systemic barriers became impossible to ignore.
So when it came to the big tournaments, the ones you need for college scouts,
Their team was just shut out, the well-resourced schools got priority, or their district just didn't have the budget to send them. It was never about their talent, it was about access.
that has to be so frustrating. To know you're good enough, but to be held back by a spreadsheet.
And then came the crisis point. Right before Bart's senior year, his last shot, the district cut the golf program entirely.
Just gone.
Just like that. For the wealthy kids, it's an inconvenience. Their parents just pay for them to play privately. But for Bart and Ian, the door just slammed shut.
So all that work, all that talent they built on those sand greens, it just couldn't bridge that financial gap.
And that clarity, that brutal realization that potential is not enough, that's the spark that created the Future Golfers of America.
Wow. So that's the why. Let's shift to the what. How does FGA today translate that history into a program for young athletes?
FGA is built for the kids, shaped by grit, not privilege. It's there to provide everything those talented kids can't get on their own.
And we should be clear. This is a legitimate, large-scale operation. It's a registered 501c3 nonprofit public charity.
Right, and the funds provide sustained year-round support. This isn't just about a one-time donation of a used 7-iron.
What does that support actually look like?
It covers everything. New high-quality equipment, professional coaching, mental performance training, travel expenses, and critically, those tournament entry fees that can bankrupt a family.
So they're not just leveling the playing field. They're basically building a paved road to opportunity for these kids,
That's the goal. Empower them to develop, compete, and chase their dreams.
which requires funding. And that brings us to the main event, the engine behind this whole mission.
The Underdog Open.
Yes. So for everyone listening, you need to mark this down. It's happening Wednesday, April 1st, 2026.
And it's at the Golf Club of Texas, right there in San Antonio. It really brings Bart's whole journey full circle.
This is the event.
Hmm.
This is how you can directly impact these young golfers' lives. And look, if you love golf, registration is open to the public.
But our sources are telling us spots are filling up fast. There is a real sense of urgency if you want to play in this thing.
Okay, let's talk about the event itself because it's designed to be a blast. What's the format?
It's an 8-person scramble, so it's super relaxed, very low pressure.
Meaning even if you're not a scratch golfer, you can still come out and have a great time and contribute.
Absolutely. Everyone hits, you pick the best shot, and everyone plays from there. It's all about teamwork and fun.
And the competitive side of it is,
Yeah.
well, it's stacked. You get a great player gift bag just for showing up.
But the prizes are where it gets really exciting. We are talking about major cash on the line.
The big one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big one.
The centerpiece is a massive $10,000 hole-in-one competition.
$10,000 for one swing.
Can you imagine just one perfect shot? That adds a whole layer of adrenaline to your round.
No kidding. But even more interesting, I think, is the prize for the winning team. It speaks directly to the prestige of FGA.
It really does. The team that wins the Underdog Open Scramble, they get a free entry into the FGA Invitational.
And we need to stress how big a deal that is. The Invitational is completely closed to the public. It's invite only.
It's where professional golfers play alongside their invited guests. It's their flagship super competitive tournament.
So winning the Underdog Open is literally the only way for a member of the public to get into that exclusive field. The sources say they're keeping the details of the Invitational under wraps, but that prize alone is a huge draw.
It's an incredible incentive, and the whole day is just packed. Registration and breakfast start at 8:00 a.m. There's an optional putting contest then, too.
You want to get there early. The main event is a 9:00 a.m. sharp shotgun start.
And throughout the course, they've got longest drive contests, closest to the pin.
And some other fun buy-ins, right? I saw something about a golf ball launcher.
Yes, the Golf Ball Launcher Challenge, which sounds like a ton of fun. Plus, you get drink tickets, there's a beverage station on the course.
And then lunch is at 1:00 p.m. when you finish up.
Followed by the awards and raffles ceremony at 2:00 p.m.
And a keynote here for everyone. You have to be there for the raffles. You must be present to win. So stick around.
It's just a high-energy day built around playing a great course and funding this incredible mission.
Which brings us to sponsorships. For any businesses listening, this seems like a huge opportunity for visibility.
A huge opportunity. They have a whole range of levels. You can do a simple hole sign for $250 all the way up to these major tiers.
Like the ACE sponsor at $10,000 or a luxury auto sponsor at $7,500, where you get to display a car on the course.
That range of options really shows the scale of what they're building.
So let's talk to the person listening right now who is totally inspired by this, but maybe they can't get to San Antonio to play. What can they do?
The most direct way is, well, direct donation. Every single dollar goes right to the mission. It funds coaching, equipment, tournament access.
And if you've got time to give, it sounds like volunteering is a huge part of their model.
It is. They need help across the board. If you know the game, you can volunteer for coaching and player development.
Or if you're good with the logistics, tournament and event support.
Right. They also need people for community and school outreach, which is so important, administrative support, even program leadership and advisory roles for people who can help with strategy.
It's a holistic approach.
It is. And just a quick note, FGA takes the safety of these kids very seriously. They do require your date of birth for background checks and have strict guidelines for all volunteers.
Which is exactly what you want to hear. You know, when you step back, the genius here is how they take that raw talent, that grit you get from playing on sand greens with Goodwill clubs.
They combine it with access.
Exactly. They're closing that gap between a kid's potential and their reality.
It's an extraordinary thing. And for our final thought, just consider that contrast. You have Bart and Ian, who treated that rugged $5 community course like their own private academy.
They squeezed every ounce of opportunity out of a minimal resource.
So the question for you to think about is, what untapped community resource exists in your town right now, that forgotten 9-hole course, that public park?
That could, with a little organized support, become the pathway for the next generation of underrepresented athletes.
Think about where the next Bart, the next true underdog, is practicing today, and whether you register to play for a shot at that invitational spot, grab a sponsorship, or just donate.
Find a way to support the kids who are ready to work for it.
Don't wait on this. Registration for the Underdog Open is filling up, and you do not want to miss your shot at that $10,000 prize while supporting such a critical mission.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.